She was a few years older than me, and she leaves behind 5 children. And then just yesterday, we heard that Kakma's brother had also passed. So now we'll be preparing for another funeral.
I'm so sorry. What's happening to these young people?
Well, a lot of it is alcohol related.
Okay, Nerd Squad, we have a 10-second delay. Unit 207 is on another rampage. So let's go over this information. It is currently 2:54 a.m. PST, February 13th, 2025. In the last 21 minutes, a woman upstairs got on the phone and she called her superior and was told to tamper and intimidate and obstruct, and willingly followed the unlawful directives. Not once, not twice, but well over 5 times since 8 p.m. last night. But the phone call just took place, and then she criminally and illegally ended the 2 preceding live streams. And keep in mind, she was responsible for the 3rd preceding live stream ending, but she got a man upstairs to perpetrate that crime for her at her instruction, as was threatened, reported, and orally stated in YouTube live streams before she did it, and in the description section. I am also being prevented from accessing this live stream from the Lenovo ThinkPad at present, even though it's been rolling for over a minute and a half because of Unit 207. Remember, following unlawful directives does not exonerate you. At this point in time, you are a willing participant in domestic terrorist in the criminal conspiracy that is aggravated, which you are members of, co-conspirators of, and are indeed, say it with me, a domestic terrorist organization. In no way, shape, or form are you part of something that is in operation. Everything you have been doing, and the lady upstairs has been doing it since 2023, you are going to prison for. You have no immunity for, as you've been told over and over and over by me. And as you know, as far as the FBI is concerned, you're fully aware, is absolutely illegal. Now, I'm clicking on my YouTube live stream because, once again, I'm being blocked in every single way, shape, and form from accessing this live stream to see if it's even connected. In the preceding live stream, they ended like in less than 2 minutes. So I'm clicking on it. I'm also not getting any emails from YouTube, as is legally required every time a live stream is initiated. And that's because of Unit 207's criminality. And again, Nerd Squad, I may be logged in, but there is no reflection of viewership showing on this video, even though you just heard the audio of it, because of Unit 207 calling their aggravated criminal conspiracy their domestic terrorist organization an operation. It's not an operation. It's never been an operation. Since its inception, it's been an aggravated criminal conspiracy. And that inception took place in the spring of 2023, which is how long the woman upstairs who made a phone call again and then decided to follow unlawful directives again has been stalking and terrorizing me.
When I'm in my car, I can just repeat everything that I'm hearing. Like, just with the weather, I've learned how to say, like, rain and fog, for example, Axbalat and Ignuas.
And with the language comes a whole
So, we'll go over everything I've had to go over multiple times since 1:55 a.m. because of these domestic terrorists upstairs. They're child abusers, stalkers, kidnappers, hostage holders, destroyers of property, thieves, fraudsters, and absolutely nothing more than the criminal scum that people like myself are happy to see handled by the real professionals who, if you missed it, are those federal employees actively working on your soon-to-be unsealed indictments.
In a wide variety of circumstances.
So once again, let me reread what I've had to read over and over and over again. And I'm certain she's already upstairs on the phone calling one of the people the FBI is most excited to put in prison so she can criminally and illegally shut off this live stream or block it from being viewed. And then try and pretend like she was following an unlawful directive. Don't send her to prison. Lady, you are one of the many that will be going to prison because you keep following unlawful directives. You're quite the domestic terrorist. So here we go. This is in the descriptions. 2:13, 2:47 a.m. It's actually 2:59 a.m. now. In the last 15 minutes, a woman upstairs called her superior and was told to tamper, and she willingly followed the unlawful instructions. 2:13, 1:55 a.m. Unit 207 cut off live stream prior as premeditated as reported in prior lives, then prevented new lives, erased 20-plus hour offline recording on Lenovo as is visible in the 2:13, 1:55 a.m. live. 9:11 p.m. female felons upstairs plan to terminate the live while I sleep. Maybe typing it will prevent their crime spree, stalking, tampering, intimidation, etc. without immunity. This isn't written there, but no, it did not. It did not stop that. 8:57 p.m. female felons cut tamper 8:02 p.m. live 2:11 8:07 p.m. from 7:56 p.m. to 8:02 p.m. 2 male hackers upstairs prevented 4 lives from launching. 7:51 p.m. update Unit 207 from noon on. Female felons going to prison have high expectations for next week and further crimes. Feels, quote, court will bode well, as it apparently did not for some of their co-conspirators, who are even more excited for next week. 9:02 a.m. Unit 207 shuts off prior live. 2:12, 6:43 to 7:43 a.m. Unit 207 full in conspirators planning. Excitement, men and women, still up there at 7:44 a.m. 2:12 dual recording offline on Lenovo due to 2:11 crimes. Unit 207 has illegally shut off 23 lives from 8 a.m. to 5:16 p.m. on 2:11. A male from their unit was outside stalking me at 5:20 p.m. before entering their balcony door. All right. And then as I did with the preceding live stream, I guess we'll go through and show you all the things that I already showed there, and then we'll just expect more of the same criminal conduct. So this is the live stream that you are currently watching that is being filmed, the 2:13, 2:52 a.m. live. Now we're going to click on my channel. We're going to click on my lives. We're going to go back to the live stream from right before I went to sleep when I wrote in the description how a female upstairs was already planning on criminally and illegally shutting off that live stream, and that maybe by writing it, she would decide not to commit those felonies. Oh, they're already actively hacking my YouTube interface. And it did not. The reason the cover is flipping like that is because Unit 207 aren't even good hackers, according to the FBI. They're not even good at it. Anyway, still waiting for this to load. Unit 207 may also be hacking it to affect the preceding live. Oh, no, it's still reflecting. Okay, so kind of tricky because I want to make sure that you see it. This is the live stream from 8:41 p.m. 2:12. I have the cursor on it. I'm moving the cursor to the timer. It ran for 5 hours and 10 minutes. Unit 207 criminally and illegally shut it off and cut it down to an hour and 45 minutes. And then when I woke up, the male upstairs, one of the males upstairs, was outside doing some stalking of me on the exterior. And then since then, they've criminally and illegally shut off all of the live streams that have superseded it. The woman on the phone is pretending like by calling her and her constituents exactly what they are. Not an operation, an aggravated criminal conspiracy, a domestic terrorist organization, is cause for her to make phone calls and then criminally and illegally shut off live streams. As you may recall, on the 11th, they did this to over 20 live streams. See? So as a result of that, as you've seen in preceding live streams, I have been running recordings on my Lenovo ThinkPad offline. The prior recording, as you can see in the live stream that I initiated at 1:55 a.m., was 20 hours long. When I ended it to email it to myself, as I had done one other time and shown you on the YouTube live stream, Unit207 criminally and illegally erased it. All of a sudden, the 20-hour video had 0 bytes and couldn't be attached or emailed anywhere. All of those things, you are looking at a minimum of years in prison just for the criminal acts of your willingness to follow unlawful directives, as you have been told repeatedly, lady upstairs. Does not exonerate you from your looming indictments. Does not exonerate you. And you are absolutely one of the few going to prison for the rest of their lives. One of the few going to prison for the rest of their lives. All right. Now there's some other info I'm supposed to go over, but I'm not inclined to do that because I don't trust that they're not going to do the exact same thing here with this live stream.
All this events of modern times is just such a little sliver of our existence.
You're not part of an operation. You know you're not part of an operation. What operation in existence insists you perpetrate 250 separate crimes against a woman who is a DV survivor who's reported your former superior officers and fellow attorneys for the very threats you made actionable, whom some of you have sexual relations with, whom some of you listen to because you call them your boss, and whom some of you don't even know the reality of, huh? None. The answer is none. Remember, this time last year, they were destroying brand new laptops and stealing money just for shits and giggles. There were men upstairs who have no sex life and awful credit who were doing that this time last year. Was that part of your operation? No. That was part of your aggravated criminal conspiracy and your domestic terrorism organization. Some of you are looking at charges for being paid by the government to be an enemy of the government. You're not just enemies according to the FBI. According to the Attorney General, you are also enemies. You have state and federal indictments, fools.
And produced by David Gold. Stood with its good thanks to everyone at Lookout Radio and Happy World Radio Day. Why?
Thank you all for tuning in.
You don't need to call somebody and say, hey, she's calling us what we are. Because the FBI, the ATG, and all the sheriffs that need to know, they already know you are domestic terrorists and members of an aggravated criminal conspiracy.
Does not get back.
How did Ella make her way to the top?
It's
It all
not
started with one
news
smart
to
decision.
anyone
She tested
except for
certified
those
used
of
truck from
you
her local
that
car
have
dealer.
no
It
brain.
was
Not
inspected,
even half a
backed
brain.
by a
Those
full
of you
warranty,
that have
and
no
fit her
brain,
budget. A Carfax
that's the
report
only
was the
people
cherry on
it's
top.
news to.
Soon, a pinch of confidence became a truckload of ambition. Cupcakes became customers. Customers became regulars. Turns out, Ella's next great investment was herself. Turns out, we're Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. See dealer for full program and limited warranty details.
It's that special time, our favorite season here by the campfire. We always love sharing some of the spookiest of the spooky, and we're thrilled to spread the word about a podcast that might just become your new horror obsession, the Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings. This multi-award-winning full-cast horror anthology drops new episodes every week, featuring mega talents such as Mike Flanagan and Kick. That sounds pretty cool. And City and Covenant.
The rotating cast of the best in horror.
I didn't believe in stuff like this. This wasn't real.
Mike.
Welcome, Fred. Have a seat by the fire. Make yourself comfortable. unusual find in the force. A tattered note
Remember,
concealed
fools, quote,
discreetly.
there will be no
Each page
leniency
filled
for
with
those who
feverish
obstruct
ramblings,
justice and tamper.
warped
That was
perversions of
written by the
scripture,
FBI, fools.
intertwined with
Filed by
pagan
me.
philosophy.
Written by the FBI.
A manifesto the ancient Druids might have concocted had they access to
There
paper
will be
and
no
ink.
leniency for those who obstruct
What
justice
was
and
certainly
tamper with
more
evidence.
distressing,
Your willingness to
however,
follow unlawful
was its crude
directives
illustrations
does not
portraying
shield you.
what appeared to be human sacrifice.
These are all FBI quotes that have been filed. Now there's a guy upstairs on the phone. I imagine he's having the same conversation
You're
his
listening to
imbecilic
Campfire
female has had
Radio
a few
Theatre.
times since 8 p.m.
Prepare your backpacks carefully.
Something like this.
Tonight,
She called
we
us an
venture
aggravated
upon a
criminal
misty
conspiracy and
mountain trail
domestic terrorist
that
organization
holds secrets both
and
dark
said we weren't in an
and
operation.
primal. From
Cut
the
off
short
her live
story
stream,
by
tamper.
John Ballantyne,
Tamper, obstruct
From
justice,
the tale
although you've
we
been
call
told by her in the FBI
The
repeatedly
Heretics
there will be no
Handbook.
leniency for you to do that. Yes, boss, right away.
Mr. McCord, how are we today?
Starting to feel whole again.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, the shoulder is healing up nicely. How's the flexibility?
You know, it's definitely improving.
I'm gonna have you do a few more reps today, if you feel up to it.
Sure.
And take a seat on the table here, and let's get started. So today's therapy might be a little more strenuous, but if you feel any pain or discomfort, just let me know, all right? It's all part of the healing process.
All right. Sounds good. You know, you're the only physical therapist I've seen so far that hasn't asked me about what happened.
Well, you're kind of a celebrity at this point, Mr. McCord. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't heard about your case. And it's been all over the media.
I guess so.
But if you need to tell me anything, particularly if it pertains to your physical recovery, then by all means, feel free to share.
I don't even know where to start. It's not your typical hiking adventure. Not sure most people live by it, you know. Certainly got the scars to prove it.
Let's warm up first. Just a few simple stretches.
Yep, no problem.
So you were a newlywed when all this happened, right?
Yeah, sort of. Me and I had been together for just over a year.
Huh. Where did you two meet?
Oh, at the gym. She was a fitness trainer. Mia was amazing. I fell head over heels the moment I laid eyes on her.
Sounds like a whirlwind kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. We were inseparable. Talked nonstop about any subject, except where she grew up or her family. I figured, you know, everybody's got something, a skeleton or two. You can't possibly know everything about someone, no matter how close you grow. There's always a secret or two locked away, very deep.
Come on, slowpoke. Pick up the pace.
You sure we got everything out of the car?
We're good. Relax. Breathe in the fresh air. Soak in the view.
Oh, I'm soaking in the view, all right.
I'm talking about the mountains, horn dog. Seriously, what do you think?
It's gorgeous. I wonder what the elevation is.
Not sure.
You ever hiked this trail before? What's it called?
Gray Beard Trail.
Nice.
I think maybe my mom took me through here once.
I guess you were pretty young then, huh?
Check out the river down below.
Yeah, thanks for reintroducing me to my fear of heights and wooded places.
That gorge snakes through the valley, right at the foot of the Black Hills.
Maybe we can go skinny dipping later.
If you're lucky, Mr. McCord. Selfie alert.
Don't post that before I approve.
Who knew you were such a vain little bitch?
You're a little bitch. How's the GPS working out?
First leg of the trail should be fine. Rest of the way, signal strength turns spotty.
So, tell me again what we're doing.
Geocaching.
Geocaching. Did people still do that?
This trail is littered with geocache coordinates.
And that's fun because.
Oh my god. It's an Easter egg hunt for adults. Check over those rocks.
I'm going to
Again,
make it
I'm
easy
not
for you because
comprehending
you
the
are
fun
so
part.
incompetent
How
that
does
all
that
you've
work?
been doing for the last few days is
Usually
literally
GPS coordinates
amassing
lead to
a
a
life
weather
sentence,
type computer
girly.
of some
Boys, girlies, and
Inside,
boys.
there's a log.
How much clearer? Do I need to
Sometimes
file
there's
a police
trinkets or
report that
prizes.
literally just says
Ooh,
this? You're not an
prizes.
operation.
Asshole.
You're an aggravated criminal conspiracy. You are a domestic
Anyway,
terrorist
you take
organization.
something, you have to
And
leave
here's a
something.
recap of what the
Shut down
FBI
all
has
the
had me tell your dumb asses over
gotcha.
and over and over again.
Come on,
One.
we still got plenty of ground to cover.
One, there will be no leniency for those who obstruct justice and tamper with evidence, specifically with the YouTube live streams. Two, your willingness to follow unlawful directives does not absolve you. It does just the opposite. I think that'll be
This is kind of
today's
unusual.
police report in short,
GPS to
shorthand.
lead us out this far, and all the other caches were closer to the train.
Then we'll add
Maybe it'll
the
be worth it.
30-something live streams that you owe me over $120
Okay, should be
million
right in
for.
I don't see anything. Where'd you pull the coordinates from?
Online, just like the rest.
But the people that keep giving you the unlawful
Hold on.
directives, remember,
Looks like
they're
they left
aware
a
that
note by
you're
your
personally
entry.
liable and you
Someone
don't
that goes
have
by the name
hundreds of
Sister
millions of
23.
dollars.
We might have to dig for it.
Are you kidding me?
And they're also aware that
Check
you're
out
the
the
ones
file,
who are
please.
going to prison
Sure, over here
for
with the route
following
says,
their ongoing, never legal, always unlawful
what about
directives.
there?
Because you're
Yeah, I
part
think I got
of
something.
a
Careful.
aggravated criminal
Could you be more
conspiracy,
Yeah, I could.
a domestic
Looks like they were
terrorist
wrapped it up in a trash bag.
organization with an ever expanding network.
There's one way to find out.
Hey, why don't we just
Stay
take
tuned
it
for
with us,
today's
get
police
back on the
report,
trail?
because I
What's
just
your
gave
hurry?
you basically an excellent
There's a
paraphrase of
freaking
it.
vibe out here. Don't you feel it?
No, but I'm not the one with a wooded area phobia. All right, we'll head back.
I kept a wary eye on the trees. In 15 minutes, we were back on the trail. All the other geocache finds would prove uneventful. Nothing out of the ordinary. And soon we would lose the satellite signal along with all connection to modern civilization. Is that somebody up ahead?
Yeah, looks like they're headed toward us.
It was Tom and Brooke Giannetti. Anyone familiar with this case has probably heard their names.
Hi there.
Hello. Nice to meet a friendly face.
You two headed back down the trail?
We are. Had to cut our hike short. Was hoping to make a full weekend out of it, but change of plans.
The weather's been perfect, huh?
Flawless. Couldn't have ordered up a more breathtaking evening. Isn't that right, dear?
Yes, it's beautiful here. Deceptively so.
Yes. Well, we were hoping to get back to the park before sunset, but doesn't appear that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah? We're looking to set up camp pretty soon.
You're gonna stay the night here?
It's too late to really make it back before nightfall.
Oh, no, biggie. We've done night hikes before. Keeps the senses sharp, you know? Besides, we've got headlamps that we can...
Okay, well, be safe. There's a few steep grades along this trail.
Absolutely. Can't be too careful. Come along, sweetheart. We need to get a move on.
Do you have a gun?
No, we don't.
What a shame.
Why?
Oh, you know, there's wild animals out here. It's the forest. It can be a dangerous place.
They're not human anymore.
I'm sorry. What? Come on, dear. She's really exhausted.
They're not human anymore.
My apologies.
Okay, what was that?
I'm guessing she's on some good stuff. Hey, you meet all kinds out here.
Yeah, like husband and wife serial killers.
Those two are harmless. Maybe a little flaky, but
I told you we should have brought a gun.
whatever. According to the map, there's a campsite up ahead.
Oh, so we're just gonna ignore the fact that crazy people are running around in the woods.
Maybe strike our tent.
And just to be clear, federal felons, because I realize some of you are upstairs and you're like, I already knew that. That's why I didn't do that. And some of you are like, no, it can't be true because we said it's not true. I'm not saying anything new. You are so stupid, those of you that have been following the unlawful directives, then not only are you going to prison for the rest of your lives, but the people who keep giving you the unlawful directives have chosen to send your ass to prison. And you don't get it. Some of you get it, those of you that blew the whistle, but like the lady upstairs, you don't get it. And I don't feel bad that you are so stupid that you're going to prison. How much clearer can you get? There will be no leniency for those who obstruct justice and tamper with evidence, specifically the live streams. Your willingness to follow unlawful directives does not absolve you. How much fucking clearer do you need it, lady? There's really like 3 sentences that should have stuck in the forefront of your mind from that day forward upon receipt of them. And yet here you are upstairs acting like, oh shit, well, she wrote about the cell phone. Should I write about the guy's cell phone after I wrote about your cell phone call? Because I know he did it too, but it's also, I can see that the live stream is still in effect. And keep in mind, guys, they were cutting off 20-something live streams before I was directly saying that. They've been doing this for days now.
A little fire going.
There will be no leniency. If you blew the whistle and you've been terminated live stream in the last 72 hours, unless you hear from an FBI agent, they're going to forgive you for that. Don't expect that you're getting a plea deal.
We stopped at a campsite with a scenic view of the mountains and Walker's Knob. There was just enough light left to set up our tent.
All right, this goes through here. Yeah. This here.
Okay.
If you can't put a tent together, how are you going to do IKEA furniture in 5 to 10 years?
I did an engineering degree for this thing.
Oh, God. You're an idiot.
Maybe it's all in the angle of the dangle.
What are we talking about?
Okay. Are you sure you've ever pitched a tent?
Many times. It's just, my assistant isn't very helpful.
Curiosity isn't killing you yet?
What do you mean?
Well, that geocache find, you know, the creepy one that was all like 5 miles off the trail.
No, I'm afraid to look. It might be booby-trapped.
You want to make a bet on what it is?
Spiral notebook. A thick one.
Wrong. It's either the Great American Screenplay or poetry. Really bad poetry. Lock it in. Failed writer dude probably hung himself out here somewhere.
I doubt Sister 23 identifies as a dude. Will you just open the damn thing?
Boring.
Ah, what did I tell you?
This little jewel is packed to the gills with handwriting and crude little drawings. Sister 23 has quite the perverse imagination.
It's not a sign-in booklet like we found in the other caches?
Nah, this appears to be some kind of weird religious manifesto or something. A bunch of upside-down crosses and stuff.
Huh? Let me see that.
Oh, what the fuck?
Shh. It's coming from way down in the valley. Maybe across the river?
it in.
How? There's no cell service out here.
You're right, no dice. You think it might be just some kids screwing around?
Oh, listen though. That sounds real. We need to try to find out what's going on.
Mia, are you kidding me right now? Unless you haven't noticed, it's pitch dark.
I can't just sit here.
You can't just go running off into the wilderness half-cocked either.
Shh. Listen to them.
Certain sounds, whether human or animal, indicate mortal distress. Death cries. We both knew in that moment that was exactly what we were hearing.
There's a ranger station about half a day's hike up the trail. First light we had that way. Report this, whatever it is.
Why don't we just go back the way we came until we get a cell signal?
Because I'm pretty sure that's where those screams were coming from.
Neither one of us got much sleep that night. Once back on the trail, I couldn't help but wonder about the couple we had met, Tom and Brooke Giannetti, how they had seemed so frazzled, unnerved. What had they encountered out here?
I see the ranger station. It's right up ahead.
Jeez, I am ready for a break.
Sorry, just wanted to get here as quickly as we could.
You know, you think maybe we're overreacting? I mean, maybe there's a reasonable explanation for what we heard?
Like what? Maybe someone's shooting a slasher flick out here in the dead of night?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of that, but that sounds sort of plausible.
Yeah, I don't think so. Shit.
Temporarily unattended. So what does that mean? He's on a lunch break? Is he dropping a deuce?
Oh, look at this place. Broken windows, graffiti. It's been abandoned.
Is that some kind of phone box on the wall or maybe an emergency landline?
Yeah, I think so. The line's been cut.
Well, that's fan-freaking-tastic.
Don't know bars on my phone.
Mine either. This trail loops around and comes back out into the park, right?
Yeah. Problem is, we haven't reached the half point yet. It's quicker just to go back the way we came.
Yeah, but is that safer?
I don't know.
Well, we need to eat lunch, take a breather.
We need to get out of these woods.
Inspecting the graffiti on the abandoned station, I began to notice something. The symbols painted there resembled the ones in the notebook. An inverted crucifix.
Oh, fuck me.
What is it?
We need to go.
Mia, what is it?
Jesus Christ, how did I get us into this?
A putrid smell hung in the air. Another trash bag lay on the ground several feet away, sticky and moist, an object wrapped in it swarming with flies. I would not discover, until after the details of the FBI investigation, exactly what the bag contained. Human remains.
We need to go now. Back the way we came.
Somehow, though, Mia knew. She understood what was going on. Even at a steady pace, it was late evening before we reached the campsite from the previous night. Not many words were spoken between us during the journey back. My muscles ached. I was wiped out physically and mentally, but Mia seemed energized by some inner fire. Or maybe it was just raw fear. It's difficult to gauge how old someone is who lives in the wild. The man seated at the campsite, calmly waiting for us, could have been 40 or 80.
It's good to see you, Mia. You don't remember me, do you?
I know who you are.
Your mother. How is she?
What concern is that of yours?
Yeah. Who is this?
You two can join me here. Plenty of room.
What do you want?
It's about them. What they want.
Why? You're the one that led those misguided women out here. They follow you.
That's not the case. Not anymore. There's been a shakeup.
A shakeup?
Ruth is their leader now. She always was. I was just fooling myself.
Ruth doesn't exist. She's just another piece of your twisted mind game.
She summoned us, inspired the holy text. Ruth has always been here.
Oh, of course.
I've talked her out of making another offer.
Offering?
All you need to do is turn over the book. They know you have it. Just give it to me and I'll return it to them.
What if I don't want to? What if I want the world to see just what a demented shit stain you are?
Well, that would be a terrible mistake.
How did your precious little Bible slip away?
One of the new girls. She swiped it from the church, made use of some kind of electronic gizmo to hide it.
A GPS.
No doubt she hoped someone might come along, rescue her. I'm afraid Ruth has dealt with her harshly. She'll do the same to you if she finds you first. Both of you. Or maybe she'll do worse.
Look, dude, I don't know what your deal is, but lack of sleep has left me fresh out of box.
Trent.
Now listen up. Me and my wife are going to be using this campsite tonight, and I don't think you're going to be very welcome here.
Do you really want me to go back with that message, Mia?
No. Here's your message. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I wish you well. Enjoy the warmth of the fire. My compliments. One last thing. If you hear her speak, see her staring at you from the corner of your eye, it's too late.
Who was that asshole?
You need to set up the tent.
So we're just not going to talk about this.
There's a lot to do if we want to get out of here.
Talk to me.
God damn it, Trent. Just put me here. My mom is part of a cult. She brought me out here to the woods with a bunch of other fanatics.
Yeah, why all the fucking secrecy? For Christ's sakes, why didn't you just tell me
I
about
was just a child. I don't remember everything. Somehow I hoped maybe I could put it behind me if I just faced this place again. Faced it with you. I hoped maybe you wouldn't divorce me because of my fucked up past. I'm sorry. Who knew these lunatics were still out here?
Look, it's okay. I mean, we'll figure this out.
It's not okay, Trent. That man who was just here is dangerous.
He's the one that wrote that book?
He's their leader. You don't know what he's capable of. Okay, that's good enough. Grab your pack.
Wait a minute, we're not staying?
No, I just want it to look like we are.
So we're gonna hike back in the dark.
I know a shortcut that forks off the main trail. It's a dry creek bed that takes us down the mountain and runs parallel to the river. It'll cut our trip back to the park entrance in half.
Sure, we shouldn't just take our chances
Look,
with...
I know you're totally weirded out right now. I would be too. Just trust me, that's all I ask. You got your headlamp? Okay, let's go.
I know now, Mia had repressed her past. Much of her childhood had been traumatic.
I think we're getting close. The split's off just up ahead.
How do you know about this shortcut?
It was on the map. Part of the old Cane River Trail.
The man who had led Mia's mother and a number of brainwashed followers into this wilderness was a religious charlatan named Josiah Landerhall, a failed preacher and sexual deviant, a man who embraced the warped philosophy of many other self-proclaimed prophets before him. David Koresh, Charles Manson, Jim Jones.
Yeah, this is it. Come on.
It's pretty dense through here, huh?
Yeah, watch your step.
After a couple hours, both our headlamps began to dim, and soon we were left in the forest with no illumination but the night sky. We still headed in the right direction? Mia? Mia, where are you? Mia?
Shh. Come on, this way.
Mia took my hand, guided me the rest of the way down the mountain, and soon I began to hear the rushing waters of the river. We had reached the valley. I don't believe it. We made it. The tree canopy had parted, and under the light of the crescent moon, my eyes began to focus on what lay before me. At the river's edge, a group of figures waited. I can only assume now they were waiting for me. And the hand that had led me through the dark, this ancient hand still clutching my own, did not belong to Mia.
An offering must be made.
Offering must be made.
An offering must be made.
No! Let go!
I had managed to wrench away from the old crone's grip and escape into the trees.
Mia! Where are you? Mia!
Eventually, I wandered back out into the open and followed the riverbank.
Mia, where are you? Where are you?
No sign of pursuit.
Mia!
I came upon the lights of a church. It was an old structure, nearly reclaimed by nature.
Hello? Anyone here?
I desperately wanted to pass it by, but I couldn't. What if Mia was here?
Anyone?
The sanctuary was aglow with candles, but empty of any human soul.
Hello?
I made my way past the pulpit to the back rooms. They were vacant as well, except for a pile of backpacks, contents emptied on the floor. I searched for Mia's, but thankfully it wasn't there. There was a familiar pink bag, though, with a peace sign. I had last seen it on the back of Brooke Gianetti the other day as she faded from sight down the Graybeard Trail. Oh, shit. There was a blazing bonfire behind the church, and I could make out what at first appeared to be 3 tall fence posts. But as the flames of the fire danced ever higher, I began to see, in actuality, these posts were wooden crosses about 15 feet in height, driven into the soil of the cemetery, inverted, just like the symbols we had encountered. Oh my dear God. 2 of the crosses were occupied. 2 figures hung there, motionless and silent, nearly unrecognizable at this point.
According to legend, Saint Peter insisted on being crucified upside down. felt himself unworthy to be executed in the same manner as his master. So, they obliged him, hung him on a cross, as was their practice. Those pointed to the sky. An execution, and, like the Lamb of God, a sacrifice.
Where is Mia?
She's not here. Follow the river. You'll be safe. I'm sure Mia will be along.
How do you know?
Just like her mother. She's clever.
What is this place?
They're coming. They need to make an offering.
Is this place?
A battleground. I lost the war here for my flock. Now, I'm just a refugee here. You should go now.
Shit. Not here. Damn it. I must have dropped my phone somewhere back there. Shit. I decided to wait in the vehicle, at least for a short while. This was the first time I had sat still in nearly 24 hours. Sleep quickly began to take me. What? Oh my God, Mia!
I lost you. I was afraid you were still back
I know. I love you so much.
I love you, baby. Let's get out of here. Hey, Sleeping Beauty, you need me to drive?
No, I've got it. Oh, Jesus, it got really insane. You're not going to believe what happened.
Did you check your phone?
Nah, I lost it.
It was kind of a mad scramble back there. I did manage to hold on to something, though. The authorities will need this.
A notebook.
It outlines their rituals, their practices, every fucked up thing they did.
Yeah, I saw it. Firsthand. We traded stories and recounted our experiences from the night before. It was only a few miles before I began to feel my eyes grow heavy again.
Are you sure you're okay to drive?
Mia reached out to me, touched my hand reassuringly. Her touch always brought comfort, peace. All worry and stress just melted away, you know. I glanced over, expecting to find her beaming face. But the person in the seat next to me was no longer Mia. What the fuck?
An offering must be made.
I'm told I likely dozed off at the wheel when our vehicle hit the curb railing and tumbled down an embankment. No telling how many times we rolled. I'm actually grateful to have no recollection of the accident because, well, Mia was thrown from the SUV and consequently died at the scene.
I'm so sorry.
They say even if I had been conscious, there's nothing I could have done to save her.
I had no idea. I mean, I watched the Netflix thing, but they didn't, that crazy cult out there in the wild. Murders, human sacrifice. I mean,
It's been a few years, but sometimes it's still tough to relive.
No, I totally get it. I mean, I didn't mean for you to have to rehash it all.
No. My shrink says it's good for me.
Well, how about the notebook?
The FBI recovered it. The Heretic's Handbook. That's their name for it. Not recommended for light reading.
Here, hold your remarks straight. Yeah, there you go.
Landerhall seemed to believe in this back to nature philosophy. Always led his followers to these remote locations. I don't think he counted on finding someone else out there. Someone more dangerous.
So, I think your shoulder is healed really well. The hardware in there might cause a little tenderness. Maybe take it easy on the racquetball, but
Gotcha.
keep doing the exercises. You're on the right track.
I know how this is going to sound, and maybe I shouldn't even mention it.
It's okay. Lay it on me.
You know, sometimes I still see her.
Mia? Oh, I think that's only natural. You know, part of the process.
No, not Mia. The old woman. Sometimes I catch a glance of her on a busy street corner. Sometimes standing at the edge of my driveway. Always there, watching.
You ever mention this to your shrink?
Yeah, I do. He tells me there are background records of all the women that were part of the cult. They all had a past, but nothing on this woman named Ruth.
Oh, how could that be?
My doctor thinks I should accept the idea that Ruth doesn't exist, that she's a coping mechanism.
And what do you think?
I know she's real.
How do you know?
Because she's standing there, right next to you.
Why can't I see her?
I don't know. Probably because I'm nuts.
Hey, you're not nuts. You just had one hell of an experience, right? I mean, our minds, they play tricks on us. Listen, I've got a couple more patients, but I want to see you again next week, all right? And you're making amazing progress. You've come a long way. Let's keep it up.
Thanks.
All right, Mr. McCord, you're all set. We've got you scheduled for a visit next week. And here's a card with your appointment time and date.
Terrific. Thanks.
Oh, Mr. McCord?
Yeah.
Aren't you forgetting something?
I don't know. Am I?
Mr. McCord, there must be an offering.
What did you say?
There must be an offering. There must be an offering.
No. Please, no.
Mr. McCord, I'm sorry.
No.
I just wanted to know if you'd care to make a donation. The St. Charles Children's Fund.
No, it's
I apologize. I didn't mean to.
not your fault. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Please excuse me. I'm reminded of one final thing Josiah said that night before disappearing into the Black Mountain Forest. Words that haunt me even now. He said, "The book has taught them to become like ghosts. Their footsteps are but whispers now.
They will not be found. But if they wish to, they will find you."
With that parting statement, Josiah Landerhall slipped into the mist-shrouded woods, perhaps himself never to be seen by human eyes again.
You have been listening to Campfire Radio Theater. Tonight's tale, The Heretics.
Note
and
Squad, I have the new
written,
addendum /
directed,
police report,
and
the code
produced
sentences
by
in
John
there.
Valentine.
I am about to email to
Additional
myself,
voice direction
post it on
by
Facebook,
Jared
and serve
Ribbett
it on
and
all parties,
Tracy
and then
Clifton.
file it as a police report and an
Production
updated review.
assistance by Wilder Concha.
And then maybe you knuckleheads
Featured in the cast
will
were
stop shutting off live
Jared
streams, eh?
Ribbett as Trent,
Just joking.
Tracy Clifton
Myself and the
as
FBI
Neil,
expect you to follow
Dexter
your
Herrick
criminal
as
pattern of
Josiah
conduct.
Landerhoff, Allison Cossett as the physical therapist, Steve Mize as Tom Giannetti, Mary Murphy as Brooke Giannetti, E.J. Lavery as
I'll
the
read it
billing
aloud
clerk,
here. It's a long one. First, we're
and
going to send it,
Stefania
post it,
Linsenbaum
yada,
as
yada, yada.
Ruth. Additional vocalizations by Fiona Thread.
Hell, I'll read it aloud.
Original music score by Kevin
I'll read it
Hartnett.
aloud. Why not, guys?
Sound design by John Ballantyne.
Fourth
Additional
addendum to formal
sound
judicial notice and
courtesy
police
of
report
freesound.org.
filed February 13th, 2025.
Mix and post
Now, I'll
production
read it after I post
by
it.
John Ballantyne. Join us around the campfire and share the horror. You can find Campfire Radio Theater on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Hey everyone, Jeff Adams here from the Icebox Radio Theater, coming on to let you know about a major change to our membership program. Now, if you've always wanted to join the IVRT but couldn't for financial reasons, we're thrilled to announce the addition of free memberships. That's right, for the first time, we're offering you a seat at the table where all the big decisions are made here at the IVRT, absolutely free. Of course, we're still offering paid memberships with additional benefits for your support, and we'll continue to offer a Patreon page as well. But we felt the time was right to open things up a little bit and invite anybody who wants to join to join. So just go to our website, that's iceboxradio.org, and click on the join link to learn more. Thanks for your time and consideration, and as always, keep listening.
The intersection of 3rd and Main. The Chase building is on fire and I think it's going to fall. We are getting word that the same is happening in other major cities across the globe. San Francisco, London, Beijing, Dubai, Moscow. We don't know yet what the final death count is going to be. Estimations of an event like this haven't been.
Authorities are urging people to shelter as much as they can. Find your loved ones and pray.
This is Heather Johnson. I'm living alone in the mountains east of what used to be Los Angeles, California. I live on a self-sustaining homestead with limited resources for anyone else out there. As long as I am alive, I will visit the corner of Beverly and La Cienega every 30 days. This message was first broadcast 13 years after the collapse. This is Heather Johnson. I am living alone in the mountains east of what used to be Los Angeles, California. I live on a self-sustaining homestead with limited resources for anyone else out there. Oh. July 3rd. Does not have a good ring to it. I was never patriotic, so I doubt July 4th is going to be a go either.
Okay, what's the vibe gonna be today? Let's see. Good morning, corpses of humanity. Heather Johnson here, your only post-apocalyptic disc jockey, broadcasting from the formerly great United States of America. As always, if you are picking up on this signal, shift your dial over to AM 1600 for a useless message. I don't know why I haven't shut down. It's obvious we killed ourselves off, and I somehow was shouldered with capping off a species that, in my opinion, was a complete dumpster fire from start to finish. But today, we're going to double down on the depression and spend it with some of the best from my mid-20s. Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, 21 Pilots, and Paramore. If you have suggestions, feel free to show up at the station and put them on yourself.
Okay, Nerd Squad, I'm going to post on Facebook first. I am attempting to enter into my legitimate Facebook account, Nerd Squad, at 3:55 a.m.
Stupid old tower. Can't even reach across the... Oh, I'm glad you're listening to me today. What is it now?
Hello?
Was that a voice?
Am I being received?
That was a voice.
Correct. I am commandeering your radio broadcast.
Okay, Nerd Squad, Unit 207 is per usual when I'm on the Facebook, excited and hacking the interface. We're preventing it from loading and already actively discussing how they believe they can possibly prevent it from being viewable.
Who are you?
Here's a thought, guys. This is going to be filed at court and sent to everybody via email. This would be a serious count of obstruction. Hey, but here's a spoiler alert. So is everything you've been doing, dumbass. Some of you are so stupid you don't realize everything I've been filing is 100% true and you're going to prison. And then the people that have decided to send you to prison for your incompetence, they are your co-conspirators, they just keep telling you, no, it's not true. And you just keep being like, okay, I'll do it then. I'll do some crimes.
When were you monitoring these patterns?
And you might find that insulting, but it's true. You might find it insulting, but it's true.
We started flying here 5 years ago.
A female felon upstairs is like, yeah, she thinks she's on it. She's going to take care of it. I haven't yet posted it, Nerd Squad, because... Never mind. I am about to post it. I'm going through the photos to upload a photo, Nerd Squad, at 3:57
There is no
a.m.
one left to provide assistance.
And then I will tag, set location, and read aloud.
What's the current population of the human species?
You're talking to it.
Oh my. Apologies,
No, it wasn't your fault. As you mentioned, those patterns.
I am very, very sorry. I deeply appreciated human culture and came on this journey to do my best to save your species from...
Extinction?
Yes, I tried. I did. I was delayed.
Delayed?
Yes, it looks like my ship got slightly off track when I was in cryo sleep. I should have arrived in your vicinity sooner.
Well, you get navigational errors?
Well, the ships aren't technically designed to work without a navigator as a failsafe.
And you aren't a navigator.
I'm a cultural officer.
Why didn't they send you with a navigator? Or like an army or something?
The committee didn't deem the mission important enough.
That stings a little.
You are sure you're the only person left?
I mean, my radio signal doesn't reach the whole planet, but I've been broadcasting for roughly 19 years, and I was able to ping off some satellites a few years back to hit pretty much everywhere. But when the satellites finally gave up, I just couldn't make any more.
That is unfortunate.
Well, it wasn't like I could go
Nerd
up
Squad
and fix
using
them.
the image in pink,
No, of course not. It's not that. I was just hoping.
tagging Seattle
Welcome
FBI,
in the human race. That was your first mistake.
National FBI,
I am so sorry.
DOJ,
Well, why?
the sheriffs.
I'm here.
I presume you are Heather Johnson from the message.
Yeah, that's me.
Mokilteo
Nice to
Police
meet you.
Department,
Bob.
Yes.
Lake Stevens Police Department,
So, what do we do now?
Marysville,
Well, getting to talk to you and
Snohomish
hearing your
Police,
experiences, if not ideal, will at least be helpful.
Monroe,
Prepared to transport thousands of survivors, but if it's just us,
Everett,
it'll be roomy at least.
Harold,
Wait. Roomy? What?
Only if
Everett
you
Police
want to come,
Department,
of course, the archivists always prefer being
City of
able to talk to a
Everett,
member of the law stations themselves, if possible. And, make sure
Everett
the
Public
records are accurate,
Schools,
that sort of thing.
So you're coming
Katie
here,
Miller,
and you would just
done.
you get me?
Setting the location
You would be incredibly helpful in making sure
as
that the
Everett
archives in our library are accurate.
Police Department,
I would spend the rest of my life in
posting as public at 4 a.m. sharp, Nerd Squad.
about humanity.
Well, there is the core planet where the IFB headquarters itself. You would be given lodgings there.
I'm not visually seeing it at all, and the man and woman are both upstairs actively trying to
Sorry. This is a
perpetrate
lot.
some more felonies, some more
how long until you
tampering,
arrive?
etc.
Of course, of course. I'm hoping to stop at a fuel station close by and get some help with
The post is not visible.
I'll have a more accurate estimated time of arrival with your system.
Okay, now it's visible. Pinning the post, Nerd Squad.
Good. Space. IFB archives.
Nerd Squad, I forgot to do what you said to do with the apps. So I just clicked to edit the post, but the only edits that I'm doing
Sure.
are
But I need to do
at
something with my hands.
the Snohomish
so I'm just gonna keep
County
talking.
Sheriff's Office,
Exciting.
at the Everett Police Department,
Normal for you.
Yeah, I need that right now.
at the Department of, I forgot to tag you up top, so hopefully I can address that. Department
I haven't thought about that since I
of
was
Child
12.
Abusers, Washington
I
State
guess,
Department of Child Abusers, at
Yellow.
the Seattle FBI.
I have a list of questions here from your internet for adults to know more about each other when starting new relationships. Would that be more sufficient?
I'm clicking to tag people,
From the internet?
and
Okay.
Washington
Sure.
Department,
Excellent. What are the most
adding that
valuable
Washington State
sexual
Department CYF to the tag people Nerd Squad. A lot of them,
Okay.
a lot of those
I wasn't
child abusers, the
expecting that.
FBI is real
I
excited to
didn't think of
prosecute,
that.
let me tell you.
Oh, that is
A lot of those child
disappointing.
abusers.
I was very curious about.
Okay, taking a screenshot, again, at Nerd Squad, it's the pretty in pink.
Directing the conversation.
And I will read this aloud. If you're anxious, though, go to facebook.com/Mystic Wind Loves Only You. You can read it yourself there. I will read it aloud and post it in the description of the superseding live stream. Logging out of my legitimate account, and of course, Nerd Squad, as usual, I'll click to remove it from the device, but we know that doesn't do anything with the imbeciles upstairs.
It's a tad embarrassing.
You gotta tell
Clicking
me now.
on the account that was created because of Unit207's crime spree, just so I could visually see my real Facebook and make sure that the posts were reflecting.
Well, first off, was. And
Then we're going
I
to
know
jump
we
over to the
weren't
Snohomish
that
County
bad,
Prosecutor's
but-
office and leave them a new review, because I can't edit the preceding one I've been editing since the
Follow the
17th.
Excel spreadsheet championships in parent year 2019.
I cannot say I did.
I'll explain your lack of understanding. It was quite the exuberant affair.
A competition about spreadsheets.
Yes. The hard work and trajectory of the child from Macau was
Okay, it's visual and it's pinned, Nerd Squad.
Oh, there might be more now since I was
Now going to the Snohomish County Prosecutor's office.
I really doubt there was
Again, Nerd Squad, I cannot edit the prior review that has been edited repeatedly due to the fact that Unit 207's criminality required the creation of a new email address.
Unfortunately,
You missed that. That was on the 11th when they were criminally and illegally shutting off over 20 live streams. I am adding a photo
No, my dad was a prepper. Liked to have
of the
contingencies.
screenshot
So when
of
things
the
started going
Facebook
south, he
post that has
grabbed
been
me
published
and
now
we
for
jumped
4
in.
minutes to this review, Nerd Squad. Again, the review is coming from that new email address, which is, again, for everybody who doesn't recall,
You know, the usual
that email address is felonsinunit207@gmail.com.
depression.
I know your kind is usually social. It's been many years looking for other humans. Have you ever considered suicide?
I am copying the fourth addendum, but I do believe, Nerd Squad, I can't confirm this yet, but I'll know in a moment here that it is too lengthy to actually fit in the Google review. I think it exceeds the character limit. Ergo, like the other preceding review, I've attached that Facebook shot. Yes, it's too long. So I am erasing it. Well, I'm erasing quite a bit of it. There we go. Okay, Nerd Squad, I have erased it to the line, the following criminal acts have been perpetrated by Unit 207 and their co-conspirators, further demonstrating the ongoing and escalating nature of their criminal enterprise. ... See Facebook.com/Mystic Gwen Loves Only You. Nerd Squad Unit 207 is preventing that from typing, as they've been doing every time I go to this Google review. I don't know why you guys choose to hack some of the things you hack. Okay, Nerd Squad. That should be sufficient, and I should be able to save this. But they're actively hacking me on the top right-hand side of my web browser. I'm seeing indentations on the screen, almost as though I had somehow damaged the screen when I haven't. And they're preventing me from being able to post. So I'm going to erase a bit more of this. I'm erasing it up to section 2, Nerd Squad, to see if that does anything. No, it does not. So I'm pushing cancel because there's no other option for me due to Unit 207. And I'm selecting to discard the review, and now I'm clicking to write a review again. I'm opening up the Lenovo ThinkPad and disconnecting it from Unit 207's internet, which is actually my internet that they're criminally and illegally using, but that live stream should still be going. Okay, the review is up there. Nerd Squad, I had to erase more than what I had stated, so let me open the review real quick so I can tell you exactly what I erased to. So now it's been served on the Snohomish County Prosecutor's Office. Keep in mind, the preceding live stream, or the preceding review on Google is the one that I kept editing repeatedly since the 17th. That has all the Facebook uploads. This one, however, is under that email address. It says fourth addendum to formal judicial notice, and then it cuts out Nerd Squad. I erased all the way up to the list of incorporated documents right after the line addendum and amendment to declaration dated December 29th, 2024. And then I did ellipses. See Facebook.com/Mystic When Loves Only You. And again, there's a photo of that public post. And again, if you're antsy to see what that says, You can see it for yourself on facebook.com/mysticwin lives only you. Otherwise, it'll be part of the superseding live stream and in the descriptions here. But I'm going to do all of that prior to filing it as a police report, because that's the way the FBI wants me to roll with it. And first I'm going to pee. And you are the cutest little kitty, Hunter. You are the cutest of all the house otters. I feel like my cat's going to die because for the last 24 hours he has been on me. You are a thirsty kitty. You are a thirsty kitty. And isn't it interesting that it's like, oh my goodness, they've either finally stopped criminally and illegally shutting off the live stream, now that I'm filing another police report, and or they've criminally and illegally shut it off, and it doesn't matter because the Lenovo is running, and I'm not going to be shutting off the Lenovo if there's not a live stream running when I go to shut it off. All right, back to the podcast while I do this and that.
I don't know. What if the other side is terrible? What if the Catholics were right? I'd be screwed.
Being alone is better.
I mean, I'm not that lonely. There is a pack of cats that come and say hello every once in a while, and the owl in the shed that refuses to shut up.
Humanity did love their pets.
Well, they were certainly fighting nature to keep plenty of them alive. Pets that survived long enough to procreate were pretty tough. I haven't seen a chihuahua in years.
Oh yes, those were indeed against the patterns of evolution.
We really did mess
Nerd Squad, they've prevented the email of the report to be received at therealmysticwin@gmail.com. I'll try refreshing the tabs, since sometimes their hacking abilities are super delayed and then they fix it after a refresh. Nope, it's still not visible, Nerd Squad. Clicking on the spam.
kept me going.
It's in the spam.
Or the power of narcissism.
How do I make this not spam?
To my brain.
There's no option to select. Oh, here it is. Never mind. It's directly on the header. Reported as not spam. Hunter, stop. It's a cord. It's not a toy, you weirdo.
Civil society? To the Federation?
Nothing is stable forever. Even the societies and the federations.
How many times have you had to do this?
Do what?
Well, document the end.
In my career, this will be my first. But I knew a member of a lost species growing up. They would invite the whole quadrant of them to vibrant parties every year. I was so fascinated by their joy and openness for life. The species had fertility issues, I believe. They're one of the final dozen to live.
I'm sorry.
It's the way of things. I am glad I got to know them. They're the reason I knew about the cultural archives and the IFB's goal to preserve records of sentient culture.
Why are you the only one that bothered to come?
The Federation saw you as too fallen. They thought intervention would be fruitless, but I disagreed.
You must be pissed that it's
Unit 207 is actively attempting to hack the email that's about to go off to everybody from therealmysticwin@gmail.com of this report, Nerd Squad. Be advised at 4:13 a.m.
I've learned so much about humanity from you. If all I can do is take records, than your species would have gotten, but certainly less than you deserve.
Oh, I wish I could think of us like you do.
Like what?
Cute?
I understand you have reason not to see yourself that way, but think of the art, the food, the parties.
We did know how to throw a good party. In the end, it's not like it mattered.
What do you think it didn't matter?
Well, it's not like the great ragers people threw helped us.
Immortality is not necessarily a source of value. The universe is a constant example of all things coming to an end. Time is very relative, so what's to say the time humanity had wasn't enough?
You were the one practically crying when I told you I was all that was left.
Of course I was sad. However, mourning its end doesn't necessitate a desire for more.
What?
Okay, Nerd Squad. Sending to everyone listed in the addresses for the law clerk's email. Well, attempting to. Unit 207 is busy doing their bullshit. Also has Seattle FBI attached here. Pushing send, Nerd Squad, at 4:15 a.m.
You can certainly mourn that there won't be more while acknowledging the beauty of what there is.
Shit.
Well, thank you. It's good to think of these things.
It's nice to think of these things in this way. Thank you.
I hope it makes it easier having you here.
Having someone to talk to is nice, and I have to admit, not dying alone is fantastic news.
I'm glad. I would love to complete a research project and presentation on humanity with you. It will be an incredible first to include a member of the lost species themselves in the research team. You can help with the spreadsheets. Was it that funny?
Yeah, Bob. It was positively cute. It's all a hallucination. That's just fine. I know it's been a good long time since I've heard another voice. It's totally logical. My aging brain would start making something up. Oh, hello? Bob? Terrible. I will be 71, but I think I get...
That was my math. Give me a moment to convert that to Terran. Okay, yes. For you, it would be 23 Terran solar years.
23?
Which means you would be...
I would be 90 years old.
That's quite old for you, isn't it? Heather, that's old for you, right?
You're the damn expert on humanity, Bob. Why don't you tell me?
I am sure we can figure out some way of making this work.
How, Bob? How could you possibly see me surviving my 70s? And my
Unit
80s?
207 is pleased with themselves because they believe they've successfully hacked who will and will not be receiving these emails and updates. They're also concurrently doing something to the Lenovo ThinkPad, as the coloring on the ThinkPad has all of a sudden dimmed, something it's never done, nor is it set to dim. Nerd Squad sending at 4:18 to everybody that you wanted it to be sent to be served from the real mystic. Gwen@gmail.com. Nothing in my email, Mystic Gwen 333,
It's not real. It's gotta be some sick
due to Unit 207's hacking and their glee about who will and won't be receiving what they're legally required to receive. You realize by doing that, you guys are so stupid, you can actually be sued by them for you preventing them from getting it.
need saving.
That's something your domestic terrorist organization, your aggravated criminal conspiracy doesn't understand.
Everything you've survived. 10,171 days. 10,000. You're going to die alone. You are going to die alone. And that's been the case for 10,171.
A male upstairs is taking responsibility and accountability, so be sure and charge him for anyone who doesn't get this email address this morning, because he's actively providing the criminal skills needed for it to be a problem at 4:19 a.m. Once again, Nerd Squad, they're preventing anything from loading or pasting and sending status quo criminality from their aggravated conspiracy. Still preventing it.
It's okay, Bob. I've got extra batteries stashed away. Here. Okay. There you go, Bob. Just gonna dry you off. Pop in new batteries. We'll be good to go.
Again, FBI, make sure and charge the guy upstairs who's responsible. Same issue, 4:20 a.m.
Last human goes out crazy, talking to an imaginary friend. I was lying before. It's lonely as hell. Easy out was always here, but I could always keep it at bay before.
They've completely frozen the entire tab and ability to navigate anywhere else on yahoomail.com, and that's a result of the male upstairs who believes that he's going to handle preventing and obstructing justice and tampering with evidence and furthering the criminal conspiracy that he's going to be convicted for being a member of. I also just got a message saying that I logged in from South Hill, Seattle on Facebook, apparently. Nerd Squad, they're still preventing any sort of addresses from being pasted into mysticgwen333 at yahoo.com. One of the email addresses they previously weren't able to impede the use of.